Hey everyone. The world of qualitative analysis. In this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about different ways of selecting qualitative analysis, images, graphs, charts, and so forth to embellish your essay and complete your research. These images speak 1,000 words, but sometimes it's difficult to decide which image is the best suited to make a point in an essay. So let's look first at that example essay that I included in the Examples tab in the module for the Prove My Point essay. That topic had to do with Building 7 of the World Trade Center. Now, if I'm making a point about the tragedy that occurred with Building 7 of the World Trade Center, let's consider that I might use this image. This image would not work, would it? And the reason is that the writer of this essay is expecting the reader to stop reading the essay and try to figure out what in the world all of this says. So this is not a good image to use. Let's look at this image. Do you see how much better this image is? The reader does not have to pause reading except to look at the image and where the arrow is directing the focus. Now, in order to explain the location in a graph or chart for this same topic, let's look at this image. This is a simple graph that shows the reader the location of Building 7 without expecting the reader to go back and try to read a lot of words. So this is the most effective example of a chart. Let's go to something a little bit more fun, and that is the example that I included in the study page, including in the Prove My Point module, and that tab is called Outlining. And let's say that I have completed the outline for Rocky, and I'm going to create a cause and effect essay about Rocky and the effects that that film had on the community of independent screenwriters, the effects that that film had on travel to Philadelphia, and the effects that that had on the popularity of the sport of boxing. So let's pick some images for that essay. It just makes you want to sing the theme song, doesn't it? Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to select some action pictures if I want to. I'm going to select, this is the statue that tourists go to visit, so that one might work in my section of the essay that has to do with tourism. And I'm going to go through here and I'm going to select a number of images and I'm going to save them to a file folder on my computer. Now, if I have decided to go with color images, that means that images like this will not work because this is a black and white image and all of my images that I'm using are in color. Right? So make sure to note that as we go through the process. This image would not work with my other color images. You can see that on this page. Now, one of the points in that essay, and you might want to go to that outlining page and just take a quick look at that outline that I created for a cause and effect essay about Rocky, but one of the things about that is proving that the film was a success, because in an argument essay there's somebody right above your shoulder saying, no, I don't think so. So in that instance, this is kind of proof that it was a success. So because I'm writing about this particular film and this encompasses a number of the points, I'm going to use this one, not this because this is black and white, but this one because it's in my color scheme of the other images that I'm selecting. Okay? Point made on that? I think so. All right, so let's move on. Let's say, just for fun, that I want to write an expose later on about having tea at the Savoy Hotel. And I've explained how wonderful it is to have tea in London. Let's look at two images. Does this tell me anything about having tea at the Savoy Hotel? No. This is a logo. It does not tell the reader anything. Let's look at this image. Does this image tell the reader what it's like to have tea at the Savoy Hotel? It kind of does, because it shows me a fabulous room. But y'all, nobody's having tea in here. So we need to find a better image. Now this image works because these are people having tea at the Savoy Hotel. So do you see how the selection process worked there? I know you do. Now it makes me hungry. Okay, so let's go to one last example of selecting images. Let's say that I'm writing an essay, and it's a persuasive essay, and what I want the reader to take away from my essay is to support the adoption of puppies. Does this image inspire people to adopt puppies? No, because I'm not really sure this is a puppy. So the reader should not have one single question about what I am showing the reader. A picture says 1,000 words, and this picture says, that's cute, but... Now let's look at this image. If we select images from here, and here is where I Googled in person holding a puppy. If I select one of these images, I am more likely to show the reader that I am talking about happy people who have, this is a nice one, people who have adopted puppies. Now, which one of these would I use for my title image? Oh my goodness, that's a difficult call, because my whole essay is about convincing people to rescue puppies and adopt a puppy. So let's try refining our search. I just changed my search criteria to a person adopting a puppy. And that has taken me to some pretty good images that I might want to use. This one is nice. You have a little picture of a cage, and the animal is clearly being rescued from there. So there's some nice images in here that I can select from, and that is going to make it easier for the reader to clearly understand exactly what my essay is about. Now, I've decided that in this essay that we were just discussing about people inspired to adopt dogs, I need to show a graph or a chart, some sort of statistics for the reader to see. Now remember, my essay is positive in tone because I'm showing happy people rescuing dogs, and we're going to be happy. People are generally better persuaded, and more likely to take action when they are inspired by happiness than when they are inspired by guilt. So, I have to find a chart or a graph that will show the good news for pet adoptions. I typed in graph puppies in shelters, and that took me to a page of graphs and charts that are pretty negative. And since the tone of my essay is positive, I'm going to refine my search for graphs. This time I refined my search to positive results graph puppies rescued from shelters. Now it took me a minute, but I actually found one that is the good news rather than guilt-induced. Do you see how simple and easy this graph is to insert into an essay? This shows a positive result from adoption. And since my focus for my topic is positive, that graph and the images that I will select from this Google search of happy rescued dogs will continue to develop a positive toned essay that is designed to persuade and inspire people to rescue a dog. So as we wrap this up, remember that including blurry images that require the reader to try to understand words and study on their own is not effective. Simple graphs that maintain the tone of the essay while giving clear information in a simple way for the reader to understand is effective. Images can prove a point, and they need to always be consistent. If one of them is in color, all of them are in color. This would not work if all of them were in color. Logos do not work, and using a logo will result in point deductions. A logo does not show the reader anything. Images that are stagnant, where nothing is really happening, are pretty, but they don't say 1,000 words. Images with people in motion do draw the reader in and allow the reader to see exactly what is being shown. If I want to inspire my reader to adopt a rescued dog, I need to include images that show exactly what I want the reader to do. This image is adorable, but this does not show the reader rescuing a little dog. This image does show that. Fun, yes? I hope this will help, and as you go through the course you will find other tutorials and information about selecting images. That concludes this tutorial on qualitative analysis.